guys, welcome back to another episode of the Opposite Sides of the Spectrum. If you are new, I am Lauren, and Tara is not with me today. But I'm just gonna do another solo episode for y'all. How has y'all week been going? Cause yeah, this week was a crazy week for me. But I hope y'all have been having a really good week. And do y'all like talking to me? Like, on a real note, do y'all like talking to me? I just want to know, because I always feel like I do better when I'm talking with other people. So I'm trying to get more comfortable with talking by myself. But before I start, y'all, if you know me, you know, if you're an OG, you know I love Sonic, and you know I love to drink over eating, basically. So this is a cranberry slushy mixed with blue raspberry. I think I definitely should have gotten the lime. I think that lime would have given it that kick I was looking for. But also, if y'all have the Sonic app and y'all like regularly go get drinks, like get the Route 44, have y'all noticed the increase in their prices? Because it used to be $1.50 for the Route 44 when they first started doing that deal to get people to get the app, their app. Now it's $1.95 for their Route 44, which is still cheaper than the 448, but still they're going up. So y'all, I was not a fan when I saw that, but anyway, since I only have 18 minutes left, which is also why my camera is faced this way, so it's gonna be a real short video. If y'all notice any differences with the lighting, or if you think it's better or worse, definitely put it in the comments and let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and drink a little bit and get started. Ooh, that was good. Alright. So I'm gonna do some more dilemmas again. Let me know if y'all want me to continue doing that, or if you would prefer me talking about other topics, which I most likely will if I do this whole episode again. But anyway, the first one is, am I a douchebag for refusing to be the main caretaker for my elderly parents? And I have not read these, so this is going to be my honest opinion. Here we go. My parents are both in their 80s and live about 2 hours from me. For reference, I have a sibling that lives right down the road from them. Neither of them have aged well. They always refuse to be active and have lived very sedentary lives in their retirement, so aging has been hard on them. My father especially has struggled with type 2 diabetes, dementia, and Alzheimer's. He is very combative and mean about everything, which is how he has always been, but dementia and old age has made it worse. He directs a lot of his anger towards me and is especially mad that I am trying to get them to move into assisted living because they fall constantly and need so much help. Anytime he disagrees with me about anything, he starts screaming and calling me names including fat and the thing. The thing hurts especially hard because I am his daughter and he is reducing me to something that is hardly human. He will say, don't look at that thing over there. She's so ugly. She might break your face, or just ridiculous stuff. He does this when he is completely lucid and remembering everything/everyone. Or he will say, don't feed the thing, when my mom tries to offer me food. Y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're hearing that. That's also why I'm moving. I tried so hard to ignore this treatment, but once he did it in front of my kids, I put my foot down and stopped visiting. My mother now wants me to come to her 3 times a week to help with cooking, cleaning, helping, dress my father, etc. I have said no because the way he treats me is terrible and I have to look out for my own well-being. She says I just need to ignore it because he is old and grumpy. She says I take things too personally and I am obligated to help them because they raised me. Am I the douchebag for saying they need either a full-time nurse or assisted living? So I have not been a caretaker personally, but I have seen people very, very close to me be caretakers this year and the start really of last year. And let me tell you something, it's hard. It's no joke taking care of others. It's no joke on both sides. For those taking care of the person that needs to be taken care of, and also for the person that is being taken care of because they have lost their independence essentially, and now they're relying on other people to help them, which can be embarrassing for them. I will say, she did say that her dad has dementia. And if you have been around someone that has dementia, their mood swings are very loud and prevalent. Like, they are all over the place in terms of you don't know what mood they're going to be in. It is unpredictable. And I hold space for that because it's not like they're doing that intentionally. It's just when you have that disease, it is hard to navigate, and it is a journey, and it does require a lot of patience. But and this might be an unpopular opinion, I do not feel like just because your parents raised you, you are obligated to take care of them. Let's be honest, we did not ask to be here. If you chose to be intimate and have children, that was a decision you and that person made. If it was consensual, that was a decision you and that person made. So I do not think she is obligated. I did not agree with her mom right there. And I really did not hear anything about the role her sibling plays in terms of taking care of, helping assist with their parents, especially since they live closer. But once again, I'm not saying everybody's obligated, but something is going to have to give. I do agree with the daughter in terms of, if you know you cannot handle being a caregiver, because everybody is not meant to be a caregiver either, then be honest with yourself no matter how hard it is. And yes, find them an assisted living place and somewhere where they can have round clock care. And being a caretaker is also, if you're looking for someone to help take care of your parents or whoever, it is expensive and it's not cheap. It's very, very, very expensive and consuming, if I'm being very honest and transparent. So I think the best decision, especially since they're in their 80s, they do not have good health. If neither child is wanting to be a caretaker and do not have the capacity to be a caretaker, I think it is time to talk about moving into assisted living. Now, you can't make your parents do anything they don't want to do, and I think that would be the best solution. That way, she can still visit if she feels up to it. I know she said at the end that she decided to stop coming because her dad was just very disrespectful. And once again, I know everybody processes dementia and caregiving very differently. So if she sees that, okay, I cannot handle the comments, and I cannot take the dementia that's causing my dad to be even more disrespectful, because it seemed like from what she said he was already rude, but dementia made it worse. So it seems like there's also just a lot of emotional ties into the relationship she's had with her parents, specifically her father. But I also was thinking that's making it harder for her to want to care for him. So I also will suggest she goes and talk to somebody about it. She did not mention if she has, but I would definitely recommend to talk about that relationship, especially since he has dementia. It's kind of hard to mend that relationship, because if like people with dementia really don't remember things. So, but she did put in here he does this when he is completely lucid and remembering everything. So if he's consciously remembering things and just being very disrespectful, then yeah, there has to be boundaries with parents. And I think that's a hard reality for both the child and parents, especially as adults, with establishing boundaries. So I don't think she was a douchebag for saying they need either a full-time nurse or assisted living, especially if she's willing to pay for it. It seems she did not mention there were financial issues that she was not going to pay for it. I do not think she's a douchebag for either option, because something has to give. They're getting older, and she's not going to be coming around, and her sibling clearly is not. So I think they need to pick what they want to do. All right, on to the next. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back, because I also saved some that I thought I wanted to read. Where is it? I just had it. Okay, here we go. Hold on, y'all. Alright. My 25 female boyfriend, 24 male, yelled at me while we were intimate. Should I have talked it out? And this is probably going to be the last one, y'all, because I'm already at 11 minutes. I only have 18 minutes. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 1.5 years. We have ups and downs, but sometimes he just seems like he turns on me. Last night he was going down on me, and it was taking me a long time, Eventually he sat up, slapped my leg, and yelled, "What is wrong with you? Why is it taking so long?" I was so shocked and in horrible disbelief and fear. I started sobbing and ran to the shower and locked myself in. He eventually came to the bathroom and said he was mad because I should have stayed and talked together about me being upset. I just couldn't stop crying. I felt so violated. Should I have stayed and talked it out? Was I being too sensitive? I really just couldn't even look at him, to be honest. Later, he was very apologetic and seemed very sorry. He said he felt terrible about it and didn't feel like himself. There was an edit, so let me read the edit before I give my advice. I think what I'm most confused about is that, yes, sometimes he kind of emotionally cuts off and turns on me, as I said, but it's never physical, and it's confusing because it's so rare and always kind of seems like I'm just being too sensitive. Some of you are commenting that he's probably angry about everything, and it's just not true. That's why I get so confused. Even with that edit, I think it's time to go your separate ways. That man does not value you. He does not know how to communicate. That's something that's very clear in this short but horrific story, in my opinion. I will say this. Abuse, physical abuse is not the only abuse. I think a lot of people think, well, if someone's not beating me, they're not putting their hands on me, it's not abuse. That's not true. There's emotional abuse, there's verbal abuse, and this was definitely verbal abuse. It doesn't matter if it's rare, if it happens here and there. He needs to go see somebody, because if he's having issues regulating his emotions and he's yelling at you and he also slapped you, so he did put his hands on you that was non-consensual, it's time to leave that relationship. He has a lot of work he needs to do, and he is not valuing your body. And the fact that he is rushing you and he's angry because you're not doing what he thinks you're supposed to do tells me a lot already. And the fact that he made you feel ashamed of your body and once again does not know how to communicate, you need to find somebody else. That man has some issues that he needs to go seek help for, because nobody's going to want to sit and communicate with you after you just sat there and violated me. And it's like, I don't know these people clearly, but I will say this: as someone who's had a lot of issues regulating my emotions. And if you listen to my last episode, I talked a lot about going back into therapy. He needs to figure out what's going on with his emotions and learning how to communicate better. Slapping and hitting and yelling horrific things is not how you communicate your feelings. And no, she was not being sensitive at all. That man was very disrespectful in a very non-consensual way. And I would not have stayed and talked about it because he is not a safe space. If you want people to communicate with you, you need to be a safe space for them to feel safe to communicate. It doesn't matter if you're having sex or not. If somebody is allowing you in their space in any type of capacity, even if it's just casual, be respectful. Be respectful. Too many people done got a little too comfortable with being disrespectful to other people. And that is not okay. And as someone who loves women, that just really broke my heart because she's trusting you and giving herself to you, choosing you to be in that space, and you just disrespected her space. Sex is a very intimate thing, and for you to have made this experience very traumatic for her, I would not ever want to be intimate with you again, personally. That would be, it's a one and done rule. I mean, I don't allow a lot of things to happen over and over again before I say I'm done. How dare you disrespect her like that? And the fact that she's defending his behavior, that tells me he's done other stuff. It might not have been the same situation, but he's done other stuff because she's defending him. And anytime you have to feel like you have to defend somebody's behavior that you know is not good, some red flags. Because this man does not value himself because he's not taking the time to fix and correct what he needs to correct on his end, and he's being very disrespectful to you and your body. So no, I do not think you were being too sensitive, and I think it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. He committed verbal and physical abuse. It's time to go. It doesn't matter if it's rare. He degraded you in a way that was horrible. But anyway, y'all only have 59 more seconds, so I hope y'all enjoyed my two dilemmas today. Let me know what you think. Drop some comments on things you would like to see us do in the future. Whatever you would like for us to talk about. But I hope everybody has a good week. I hope everybody has a renewed mind and going into this new week mentally, physically prepared. But anyway, that's all I have for today. So, peace.